Okay, now we move on to the solar-powered cold storage. Nnaemeka, unfortunately, is not available today. He's on travel, so I take over the presentation. And this is based on the collaboration between Cold Hub and IFRI and the University of Jos. I skipped this slide, but because we already discussed the challenges and the gaps in this sector. And for cold storage issue, the availability or accessibility or coverage of the grid electricity is a key issue. World Bank 2021 is saying about 759 million people are without power, and most of them are concentrated in sub-Saharan Africa. And Nigerian government is showing some statistics in 2019. Rural Nigeria, only 30% of rural households had access to power, okay, in overall, not only in the Northeast. In Northeast region, 79% of the household have no access to electricity. So if we combine, we can easily imagine that the rural Northeast, they don't have access to electricity. On the other hand, the solar panel, PV technology, the cost of this technology reduced, substantially in the past decade. So there's a huge potential for utilizing solar panels to create electricity in non-grid rural areas. So this picture shows, okay, so we built that kind of a cold storage of 3 ton. This is a, well, fancy innovation from the cold hubs. Okay, they have been doing a wonderful job in Nigeria. Probably they will expand to other countries as well. But we work together to build 7 cold storage of that type in different locations. 2 in Bauchi, 2 Adamawa, 1 Gombe, 1 Yobe, and 1 Jigawa. Those are shaded area. Those are intervention states. And you can see the actual markets we intervene that time. And I want to highlight another issue here in this map. The percentage of the population without grid electricity is the lowest in the Northeast. You can see the white bar. And population of the production, on the other hand, the production is concentrated in the north or northeast. That's the black bar. So they produce a lot of vegetables, but they don't have access to electricity. That's a basic picture here. And then we intervene that the belt, area in the northeast. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, there are 7 storages. In the center, lady is working, managing, operating the cold storage. So this creates employment opportunities for women, and as well as, of course, we are contributing to a reduction of the food loss. So you can see, it's a 3 ton. It's not a big, but it's really a contribution and locally. And utilization, I just share the sense of, how it has been utilized. So there are 7 markets, and the main commodities are tomato, cucumber, lettuce, and those. Okay, and the actual utilization, those 7 cold storage have the identical capacity, right? 3 ton. So we can just simply compare the kilograms or tons across the cold storages. One Duse in the Jigawa is highly utilized, and others also. But there are, of course, it depends on the season. The data was collected in February 2022. So we can just see they are used, okay, but it varies. And first snapshot. through which we understand the contribution. Is shelf life. If you put the vegetable outside or put in a cold storage, of course, the shelf lives will change. So we can preserve vegetables, fruits more effectively, so they stay fresh longer. That has different kinds of benefits, of course, health benefits and income benefits and so on. For the producer side, marketer's income, but for the consumer side, it can be a health nutrition intake benefit. And this is just a snapshot. We look at the different macronutrients and attributes of the product stored in a cold storage or stay outside. For example, in the case of vitamin C, you can see the different decaying speed. Okay, lower one is outside. The upper one is a cold storage. So we can retain more vitamin C longer if we put in in a cold storage. And this slide is a bit technical, so I don't want to discuss numbers, but we look at the revenue and the percentage share of net revenue to gross revenue and the sales volumes, and also the food loss percentage. In all variables, we saw significant impacts. As you can imagine, this is not a purely randomized control, so we have to make them a little bit comparable in a statistical way. We call it some matching method. So this is sometimes, it's not very robust, but we checked different level of the robustness, and we are reasonably confident about these results. And so cold storage significantly reduces the food loss percentage, increases revenues for the marketers and the sales volumes. That's what happened in the 7 locations. We compare the comparable markets and the intervention markets. And how about more business-oriented or not a business, but from the policy point of view, we are also interested in the internal rate of return. So I calculated under some assumptions, but using real data. So we can compare the solar scenario and the grid electricity scenario, or using a generator with a diesel. So since the diesel price was different from now, so I think this number 11%, right? So this internal rate of return for diesel generator case is underestimated, right? I don't know, overestimated. Right now, it must be much lower. But a point here is, if you compare grid electricity and solar electricity, they are somehow comparable. So solar option is not so bad. But first, okay, all right, yes. But as I think Cold Hub also probably agree. Yes, I agree that I also chatted with Nnaemeka recently. We think the capacity of 3 tons is too small. That's really true compared to relative to the supply of tomato and others coming into the market, especially the harvest season, grass season. It's too small. How to scale up? I mean, this is the main question of the workshop. Yes, how to scale up, meaning two ways, right? How to build more, how to reach out to more market. That's one question. But how to make a larger storage? And this second question is more important. And how to, well, we think that's more important. We have to have Cold Hub just built a 100 ton capacity cold storages in 2 locations, Zaire and then Jos. I want to catch up with you and to understand how things are going. But in general, we really want how to make it happen. We need a battery technology. We produce enough electricity, but we don't have a good technology to store them. Okay, so
Okay, so thank you, the team, the cool transportation and cold storage team. With that's just the 2 presentations together. Now we have one presentation left from the first batch. That is the solar drive presentation, which is shared by Femi Ifri and Dr. Kamaldeen from NSPRI. And we have Kale from the World Vegetable Center. So 3 of them share, because this is one of the big interventions we have been working. So, but in terms of time, we still have 15 minutes. Please, we stop you if you don't finish in 15 minutes. Thank you.